Very own, after 10 months of being in hospital, he has come out roaring and ready to go to Northlands. Pastor Charles Gitari, thank you very much, very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. At least now that you're here, even if I did not have a point, I look important. You know, the worst thing, you bishop, they create expectation. And expectation is bad. Like you expected yeah. Thank you. I had to put my phones on silent. I don't think I'll need this. I don't think I'll need this. This is the one that misbehaves. The ones who know it are not. Hallelujah. 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 Well, we want to talk about power for the mountains. Hallelujah. You know, you don't need power. Lord, something. I'm shouting to myself and I want to shout out to you. So, shout that way. Yeah, that way I want to talk. You don't need power to do small things. The smaller the thing, the lesser the need for power. And most of our lives, we have been taught, I don't want to say failures, but by non-achievers. And the danger of being taught by a non-achiever is that as he is communicating information, he is also imparting a ceiling and a standard of expectation and performance for you. We have a problem with big things because we feel that big things will break us. But I want to tell you, small things will break you. You don't need power if your idea is to be and to do small things. Actually, we have wasted this. You have heard the man is called a sage. We have wasted his time if all we came here to do was to just go back and trust the process. I want us to go back and disrupt the process. Because this is not a mass therapy session. This is not a session where you sit down with your therapist and you tell them your problem and you peel your pain, and they tell you that pain is like an onion, so we will peel it layer by layer, and yet, you see, by the time you heal, you're 65. Something must happen to accelerate that process, or else, as Bishop was teaching yesterday, you will leave and turn pain to be a purpose. We don't need power to do small things. What is happening to us as Pentecostal believers, even the hall that we are gathering in today, if it was us, it would still be a project. Small things are sickening. Why should we sit 12 of us and don't want to build a tower to reach heaven? Why should Jesus walk with you for 3 years? You see, you are saying, I'm still going through a process. The process of Jesus was 3 years, and the scope and the purpose of that process was the world. Jesus was a big thinker. He created a scope that was beyond Jerusalem for the people. He told them the power that is coming, Jerusalem is not a village, is a dining room for you. You shall be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in Judea and in Samaria and in all the uttermost parts of the world, because you don't need power to stay where you are. If all the power you have in Christ is to fight one witch who bewitched your dog that gave birth to a dog, that's a lot of power. Just shoot the dog. You don't need power for fighting a family curse. You don't need a lot of power for that. Sue the nigger. You don't need a lot. There are processes of dealing with things when they are small. Feasts, gangs, apotelekwa roundabout. There are things you can do. You don't need power to just correct a family misnomer. You know, here in our land here, nobody buys a car. That all the power we are talking about here is to get you a Vitz. That's okay, sister girl, but I don't think that's why we are here, because that's a lot of power we have wasted. Because you have to understand that power leaks. And my prayer is when we come into Kabod 2025, we will not come to Kabod 2025 to encourage you for surviving. Hiyo mwaka imekuwa ngumu sana. Hiyo mwaka karibu nimalize. Hiyo mwaka. We are not coming to review the year, because you don't need power to survive. You need power to break the resistance. That's why all the science that was made for power was all about breaking and permeating and penetrating resistance. Come on, somebody. So you've come here because you want to break a resistance. Come on, guys. You know, when people, and this is the problem when you set your own exams, you always pass. When you set your own exams, you always pass. Because you will set exams that you can do without ever making a demand on yourself. And the problem with us is that we have been setting our own exams. So the things we glamorize in our cocoons, because I'll not call them churches, in our cocoons, the things we glamorize, we can't export. Oh my. When you set your own exam, nobody sets an exam and fails himself. You set an exam in such a way that you can go out and play, because your idea is, let me not put hard things for myself. And the way we have built our lives and glamorized our minds, and you need to know this, the mind without power and without an idea for power becomes an escape organ. It can't help you. It will want things to end without application. Oh, what will I do? It will want things to go without any form of application, because the mind without power cannot take resistance. So we set our own exams around love, around education, and give them an equation of power, but they are not fully power. Because you can be educated, but without power, you can't move. You can be a very loving person, because without power, you are like me here. If somebody has a spinal injury, he has the legs, but he can't move. Oh, I wish you could hear me this morning. I say, I wish you could hear me this morning. I want you to be power hungry. I say, I want you to be power hungry. You have already been a good boy. See how you have arrived here. tired, worn out, drenched, rained on, waiting for maybe somebody to locate you prophetically. But see how being a good boy has already kept you small. I want you to be a big boy. I say I want you to be a big boy. I want you to be a big boy that next year you will tell the bishop, you choose the hall, I'll pay for it. Because now you are a big boy. I want you to say, what is the cost of owning one of these equipments? Next year, I want to tell you, we are going to take care of this. I need some big boys. Because there is something that happens when you have a big vision and you're pastoring small boys. They become like children. They are ever crying, ever murmuring, ever complaining, ever saying, it's too big, it's too big, daddy, daddy, it's too big. We are doing projects forever. Oh, bado kila jamii litoe kitu kidogo la kusimamia lile kabati ambalo tunaweka viungo vya watoto. Sasa mimi ndajuaje Kiswahili? Umeniletea coins mpaka nimeanza kujifunza Kiswahili. Tujue mahali tutaweka. Bado tunamwamini Bwana, tunataka kununua chombo cha kumtukuza Bwana cha kinanda. Because we are pastoring small boys, we are pastoring good boys, but we are trusting that this year, as Kabod is coming to an end, that there are some big boys here. I say there are some big boys here who have been playing small and playing clean and playing smart and playing neat, and they cannot convert anything. Is there somebody here who is power hungry? We prayed for you to go to school. We prayed for you to go to university. Now we are praying again for you to get a job. When will the prayer stop? And now it will be no pastor. Now you don't need the prayer. Now you don't need the prayer. Because as long as you are on the praying line, how will we invade cities as small boys? How will we invade neighborhoods as small boys? Because small boys will always think that big things are dangerous. But I'm here to tell you, Kabod, 2024, as long as we play small, our results will be small, our finances will be small, our churches will be small, our businesses will be small, our houses will be small, and our children will reject our God, because they will say, your God is only too big to only buy me a shoe. Come on. Okay. Somebody here must turn to the neighbor and tell the neighbor, neighbor, I have been a good boy. Now I want to be a biggie boy. You know, when I was young, my mom, she's not here. I would always, because my big brother was stronger than me, but there was always some fighting. And then sometimes he would beat me, and then I would cry. And then my mom would always tell me, now you know you are a big boy, and big boys don't cry. Now you know you are a big boy. And when you're a big boy, if you start crying, people will think you're a little girl. Then they'll start putting some big boy language, like stop crying. Stop being a little girl. Stop being a this. I'm here to talk to some people and tell them, as long as pastor, I want to see you. Pastor, can I see you 1 minute? What is it? Bibi aliniuma mgongo. Biggie boy, na hizi zako? Our churches are dying. Our churches are dying. We are building forever. We are buying forever. We are borrowing forever. We are servicing debts forever. Everything is lasting forever. But the God that we serve is not a God who hands over burdens to children. He is a God who relieves children of burdens. And that idea of relieving burden from children is that one person must arise and declare, I'm not doing small things here. I'm not doing small things here. Back up. I remember one time when I was playing dangerous games with my life, somebody sent me an offering akasema na ununulie mama maziwa. Yani nikashangaa. Sincerely, unajua, I'm not that good. Me, you know, you'd rather send me something and say, "Iyo nunulie mama maziwa." Now mpaka mnanituma kwa mama, yani tumefika hiyo mahali, yani I've become such a small boy mpaka mnanituma. Na hizo siku zingine nani umnunulia? Mpaka ushajieka, unajua hii inaweza kuwa tu maziwa. Now if you are buying me now maziwa, when will we build something like this? Mnatutuma maziwa? Bishop Manzoba yeye. Unaenda home sahi, sawa, eka hapo kama mafuta. I don't want to come down there because I have points. And you may think I don't have points. But the problem is that when you have points and you are angry, you don't know which one will go first. We cannot do small things. We cannot be calling us to say, come and see the toilet that I've built. Come and see. We as a people here, and the language must start with our pastors. Small does not mean humble. You have to be big. The test of humility is size. Small means limited. Hi. Hello. Hello. And no wonder everything is a program. We are starting a school feeding program. Unaweza leta dengu, unaweza leta maragwe, unaweza leta mushere, na hata wezi leta pishori, unaleta ile mchele ugali. Yani mnatuletea vitu zingine, mtoi akipewa anasema heri shida, heri njaa kuliko hii mushere. Heri njaa, hii sasa, heri njaa. Njaa ijaniwa bado. Wacha ningoje. Because God must raise somebody here. I say God must raise somebody here who has no problem with playing big. You do this. Stop apologizing. Yes, sir. Wewe bado uko na ambition. You are already apologizing. Sema, I will apologize later. Because as long as you are playing small, it's a language that we have to kick out, because we don't need power to do small things well. Bishu wanga mdeep. Najipima na wewe. If you are the person natumia kupima depth yangu, I'm in trouble. Munitafutie rosary mapema, juu sitaweza. Kama wewe ndio measure ya depth, Bish, kuna vile unagonganga hiyo word, inaniinua roho. Na hiyo roho inainuka, inafanyanga nini kisha inuka? Juu inainuka tu, imeinuka tu. Hiyo nainua, inaenda kudu kukahongu katia dem. Bish, I'm hurting. She broke my heart. Now when it was not broken, what was it doing? It cannot be everything big is a broken heart, a glamorizer. Everything must be poetic for it to be well received amongst us. We are playing. Power is rough. Power is raw. The games of power are not the same, because in the games of power is capture or be captured, eat or be eaten, take or be taken, build or be replaced. There is no vacuum when we are talking about power. Oh my God. There is no vacuum. It's the only place where the powerful rule. And you don't need to like them. As long as they have accrued power, automatically they displace you. Hey. I've not yet read my verse, but we will get there when I feel like. Something must change. Our women, we have to stop being so emotionally needy that we are sinking big ships to satisfy. Then you start saying, huyo msee ameokoka, anapenda God, hana kakitu, atapata wapi? Wewe lazima ukule Java. Lakini lunch ujipeleka River Road, mpaka una mtu wako kuletea chapo, hata si za sports ni za stripes. Lakini Onyango akitaka kukupeleka lunch, wewe ushasimama nje ya Kempinski. Unafanya nini hapo? Toka hapo, toka hapo, toka, songa huko, toka hapo, because we already built a class and we don't have power. We don't have it. We don't have it. Ameingia Fuliza, pledge ya church ina delay. Pasi alikuwa na nywele hapa, kesho unaipata hapa. Small boys. Small boys. Do you know there are people who are very good and good for nothing? And then mnaanza kusema, hii church nimediscover kama una do, hawezi karibia pasi. Haya basi umenikaribia. Sawa. Sasa tumekaribiana. Haya sasa tuongee. Una bus fare. Haya pia mimi sina na wewe una, tumekaribiana sasa. Hiyo karibu hiyo inatusaidia wapi? The gathering of the small is a gathering of lies. There is only noise and waste. Oh, I'm not your pastor. When you finish the service here, you'll go to your church tomorrow and your pastor will call you beloved saints of God. I'll not call you beloved. I'll tell you the truth. We are shouting over nothing. We are blessing houses. People are blessing flats. Pastor, hii mwaka ndio mara yangu ya mwisho kulipa rent. Yu unasema mara ya mwisho kulipa rent, na mtu anasema hii ndio my 4th flat napokea rent. When will we? Hii speaker bishop ni mzuri sana. Nika how much? Unataka kujua? Count your hair. Hiyo bei. Hiyo yote. Na si zile zetu ndogo zinaweza. Then unasema, oh, there are people who are not in the church because you're playing small. With the amount of revelation that we've received here, we don't even need another session. We just need some people here to live here and become some West men. That's all we need. Come on. Said, come on. Something must start to provoke your spirit. Small does not necessarily mean God. Is that bad? Let me start rambling my scriptures. You know, I'm not therapeutic. So even if you go home and say, huyu asiitwe tena, sumu iko kwa mwili. Wewe ulishakuja kwa baa, ushalewa. Sasa tuna complain, nani mlinipatia mimi pombe na mimi sikunywangi, ushalewa. Sasa mlipatia mimi na mimi mamangu, mimi sikunywa, mamangu atanichapa kwa, ushalewa. Ushakamba. Too late. You came to the bar. And we will tell you the truth. The things you are prioritizing, they are disconnecting you from the things that can amplify your life. The things you are glamorizing are disconnecting you from things that can amplify your life. Whatever we are doing here for 1,000 can be done for 10,000. Whatever we are doing for 10,000 can be done for 100,000. Because power is not as biased, is not selfish when it gets people who have a concerted, concentrated, collective mind. Come on. We have tried. Before we speak, we even introduce our wife. I want to call the most lovely of all the ladies, lovely in the world. The woman, the rib, the coin, the one who turns my chapati and turns it into flour and brings back flour. We have done everything. We've become poetic. We've become Shakespeare. We have become everything. We have not become power builders. Mark. I start there with my rambles. A man comes, and again he entered Capernaum after some days, and it was heard that he was in the house. Tell your neighbor he's in the house. Come on. Hiyo ndo power unataka kutumia wewe. Hiyo power, yani napiga hapa kelele naona nipima hapa temperature. Na amesoma hadi kufika wapi? Inasaidia na nini? You have no spine. Tell your neighbor he's in the house. Tell your neighbor he's in the house. Tell your neighbor he is in the house. Tell your neighbor he is in the house. And the Bible continues to say, and it was hard after some days that he was in the house. Immediately many gathered together so that there was no longer room to receive them. Not even near the door, and he preached the word to them. That's what has been happening here. Kuna vitu fulani Rev Morris alikuwa anaguza. Zimenikumbusha kitabu fulani nilisoma 2019 ya R.T. Kendall. Ina resonate sijui na nini. He's preaching the word. Then suddenly, then they came to him bringing a paralytic who was carried by 4 men. At that particular time, there is no confrontation. Because as long as you're preaching the word, nobody cares. When we tell you to go be good boys, go pay this, go do this, you're a very good boy. You're a very goody boy. You're a very goody boy. We are going to do end of year trophies. We'll pin a certificate on the wall for you being a goody boy. I want a big boy. I say I want a big boy. We are here 10 years later, not because the vision was not there, but some big boys were not there. Not to castigate anybody for whatever they have done. Not to castigate newbirths, not to castigate anybody. But if there are some big boys, we should be catching up with this vision in Cairo. Because you can be listening to the word, but you're paralytic. You can't move. We can't move. That's why in this country we have no ownership. You can't say that's my pastor because you only want to go to the church that has got no budget. Ile kanisa yetu ni poa, amejenga poa, choza watu hizi na flash. Those are small boys. Oh, your church ni poa sana. Nimenotiza hata pastor akianza kupreach. Ana preaching alafu katikati tunapewa time to discuss what are we learning. We are a bunch of paralytics. We are a bunch of paralytics. Oh, we are a very good church. Our church is so nice. Everywhere we go, pastor gets out and greets everybody. He is a humble man. He is a goody man. We come the same, we go the same. We come the same, we go the same. Actually, mwisho wa mwaka ukifika tunasema nashukuru Bwana, huu mwaka kama sikukufa 2024, basi Bwana ana kusudi njema kwa maisha yangu. We are paralytics. We are coming in, we are going out the same way. We are coming in, we are going back the same way. We are coming in, and nobody is confronting exactly. But in the midst of the crowd, they now isolate another 4. And that is what I just want. Because there are people who they are not happy with the condition of one of them. You know the problem with you, you have joined groups that massage your ego and polish your breakdowns and call it, that is how you are made. You are Melchizedek, possessed devil. Because out of a crowd, a group is isolated because you can be in the category of the crowd. But then there is another category of the 4. Now in this crowd, you just need 4. When unatafuta, oh, nobody is liking my page, nimeshare mangoba zangu mpendi. You just need some 4 people. Your church can be changed by just 4. You are trying to be good to everybody, but there is just 4 people there. Just a bunch of 4. I don't need 100. Just give me 4. And your church, your life, your business, your ministry, if you just get the right 4 around you. You have followers, you've built nothing. You have numbers, you've built nothing. You have this, you have built nothing. Same house, same car, same clothes, same everything. You are uninspiring, but you are a very good girl. You are a very good girl. Yes, you don't sleep around. That is very good. But what is the big? What is the big that you are doing? You are trying to get everybody. But there are 4 people that can come into your life and you can move from a paralytic. Oh, sweet girl, how are you? How have you been? It's long since I saw you. Well, last week I had a small breakdown. Oh, why is he talking down about breakdowns? I'm not talking down about breakdowns, but I'm trying to tell you there's an option. The problem with you is you don't want the option because pain has got you attention. And the attention is more important to you than healing, than power, because when the attention is not on you, you don't know how to lead when you don't have pain. You don't want to get better. You just want a circle. They understand me. Not that you're half here and half high. Unashangaa pastor anapotelea wapi? Sijapotea, you're half high. What were you drinking after we left Kabod? So 1 minute you're preaching here, the bishop is sweating, he's blowing on you, he's laying hands on you, and then you rush to Kengeles. Pole, nilichelewa church. I didn't want to miss out. You're trying to sip. Quiver. And then you come back again tomorrow. Yesu boa. You are hoping one of these groups will build your life. In the midst of the people, you just need to be amongst the right 4. We are sitting here around 2 who took tea. What if we ate bread? What if we ordered meat? Come on, guys. We have glamorized. No wonder everything we try to do, they say, hapa to apply hekima kidogo. When you hear that word hekima being used by somebody amongst you, just know he's about to plant in you the highest form of fear that you have ever had. Hapa tutumie. They came also in the crowd, a small cluster. And that is just what will happen. I believe out of this Kabod, some 4 men will get out from here and say, Pastor, this is the last time you're going to ever hear me tell you something is wrong. Give me 6 months. It will be you calling and telling me, why is that thing, your gari meachopo kwa parking ya nani? Yeah, that car's been there for 2 days. Ati nani nalileta? Nenda fanya nini hapo? Muisongeshe. Pastor, Paul nilisahau. I brought it. If you need it, put it somewhere. If you don't need it, find somebody to give. Because we are arguing over small things. The only doctrine that the Kenyan church has learned is the doctrine of giving and honor. Hizo tu ndo wanajua. You don't need this and you don't need that. The rest, mfanye vile mnataka. We are playing small. No wonder we are window shoppers and tourists. Tunaenda kuona, nimeenda kuona church fulani. There's a move. We are tourists because we don't want to bath. I pray that God will just give us some 4 here. Just 4. You don't need 100. You want a crowd. But God, in the midst of a crowd, he discovers there are 4 who have a different objective. They want to see power. They need a power intervention. Acha tusome Biblia. Kaeni chini tusome Biblia. Okay, acha nisome kama you are loving, humble pastor. There Jesus said, and when they could not come near him because of the crowd, they uncovered the roof. Come on. So when they had broken through, they let down the paralytic down on the bed on which the paralytic was lying. When Jesus saw their faith, come on. So you want to tell me he's preaching to all these people, he's seeing nothing. Bwana niangalie njia yangu. When nani? Have I ever seen you here? Yeah, I've been here at the front. So you rose up early, crowded a place. When he saw all that crowd, he was seeing nothing. Nothing to see. Tazama, wewe ni Bwana Mungu wa Jekuna. When he's looking at you, he's seeing nothing. But when he saw them, he saw their faith. Then he said unto the sick of palsy, Son, thy sins are forgiven thee. But obvious in the crowd, there is somebody who has goggles. Say what? What he say? What he say? He say see? He say what? Did he say see? Did he say that he say what? Let me call you there, brother. What did he say? Come here. Did I hear correctly? Say what? Did he tell this man a certain what? He had what? He had seen. Did he say, son, your sins are forgiven? Iyo tabia alitoa wapi? You are listening to underachievers. I told you your problem is you're listening to underachievers. Your mentor and you are struggling. You're listening to underachievers. Oh, kuna vile na dissect scripture. He can't flip a bike. What he say again? He say, what, nigga? He say, sin? What? They reasoning there saying, what? That young boy at 30, he's talking of forgiving sins? Hey! Call Dr. Lukewarm Opio Takataka. Call him. There's a young boy here who is seeing somebody sick, and people want to hear, but they really don't want to hear what is keeping them down. They don't have a problem. You come here paralytic, you go back paralytic. No, everything about you, we glamorize. We glamorize. But he says, and some scribes were sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, the way you are. Did that boy just say, taka? I'm starting. Did that boy? Okay, let me call, and reasoning in their hearts. Next verse says, why does this fellow talk like that? He is blaspheming. Wait, nirudishe nyuma. Are you part of the scribes? Why does this man? Why? No results. He has no results in his life, but he's a journey come lately. Amekuja juzi amekaa hapa anasema, so why does this guy talk? Upasimona na maringo mingi sana. Maringo mingi sana. Wesi ni tokens nasikia kwako inalia. Iti nasikia. Wesi ni kwako nasikia tokens inalia. Na umeingia mambo ya wakubwa. Yaani umeingia kimbele yako imekuingiza. Say what? We ni iti inalia. Ni token. Hata wewe unatuliza kelele gani hiyo? Mimi sisikii. No. Who can forgive sins but God alone? That's our problem. That's our problem. We are listening to underachievers. You are listening to people who have brought the ceiling so low. You are listening to people who are kneeling down to teach you so that you can attend their church and take pictures of you so that they have mega church and they look bigger and they look bigger. But the guy can't do nothing. The guy can't do nothing. You touch his pulse, it is pulsating. You touch his heart, it's bouncing like a basketball. You touch his head, it has veins. He's claiming, I pastor a lot of people, but it is a lot of problems because you don't need a crowd to fulfill purpose. I say you don't need a crowd to fulfill purpose. That is why wanafikiria unaringa, because you are not trying to build a crowd around you. You are trying to build a core of 4. That is what you just need, just a core of 4. You may find one in your husband or your wife. You may find one in a brother. It does not come anywhere. But if you just find the right 4, throw away that nonsense that pastor is telling you and telling you, no. Some of these preachers, they are only after your money. This is 10th Kabod, yeah? This is 10th Kabod. Does Bishop CJ look 10 years old? Does he look 10? You know, you think like, so what was he doing before he started Kabod? So because he was not alive, he did not have a way of getting money. He has now found a way. So does he look 10? We are listening to failures. We are listening to people who are glamorizing slow death as slow growth. You know, Itau yetu, najua in the capital, kuna zile matrisuzi itanganya. Kuna zile suzi itanganya, alafu kuna ile tunaitaga wewe. Itaniweka. Itatuweka. Atusemi haitafika, lakini by the time inafika, what I have to do na kwa nimechelewa. So tunasema tungoje gani? Tungoje nganya. Inaweza kuwa inacheza boom boom twaf, but he has a way. He has already made some arrangements. He can jump over a pavement. He can drive on the wrong side. Whatever happens, he will charge me more, but he will get me there faster. That is why we are here. We need power so that we stop treating slow growth and packaging it and saying it is slow growth. I want us to live here and say, no. This is slow death. This is slow death. This is slow death. I need some power here. I need some power here. Because once you're paralyzed and a dead man, what's the difference? You need somebody to wash you. You need somebody to clean you. You need somebody to cook for you. Everything you need somebody. Because once you are paralyzed, the paralyzed and the dead, they experience the same crisis. They need to move. Somebody has to come and move them. They need to do something. Somebody has to come and give them. But for you that is here, I pray you are in the part of the four and not in the crowd. Pasi church in a group. We had one visitor. Now amesema ataweza come next Sunday. Anaweza come next Sunday. Next Sunday. Ataweza sema Wednesday. Hata Tuesday. Kwanza alikuwa amepotea. Ni alikuwa anaulizia njia. Akaona huyo asha wako pointi. Na akajua ni one stable ka wewe. Sasa nilikuwa natafuta kanisa ya New Birth. Au ameshamaliza. Iko wapi? Iko pale chini. Lakini nimepokea neno, I'll come next Sunday. Next Sunday? Are you ready to wait for next Sunday? If you're growing at 1 a week, when will we build this? Okay, let me do my Russian march so that tukasirike. What are you doing? I'm giving you a break. What are we doing? We are paralyzing the church. We are paralyzing and whenever we go, we spread that paralysis, and everywhere you are a victim. They hurt me. They hurt me. They hurt me. They broke me. They hurt me. Sawa. Hatuja kuhurt sasa. Now that you are not hurting, where is the big you are doing without pain? Where is the big we are doing without pain? We can babble scriptures. Oh my God. Lakini bisha gechukwe yo Mark 2. I connect. Na Acts 1. I connect. Na Acts 10. Aizungushivya turn right. Aingiapo Luke 5. Iyo dogma. Ingekuwa doctrine. And then, tuende pale kungoja ma3. Wawili finje. Wawili finje, hapana. Wawili finje. Is that what we are discussing here, doctrines for? Somebody here must choose a different path for his life. That's what you are here for. Big. 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 It's not big. Big. Somebody must say, I want it bigger. You know, unajua mnaendaga mnafundishwa tu concepts twingine, sijui tunakagaje. Better is better than bigger. No, bigger is better and better. We have made big like a disease. What's your idea of Kabod? I want it to be big. No. Usitaki hizo vitu kubwa. God works with the small. But we are tourists. This is the which conference you're attending this year? It should have shown in your life. Mazo msa alikuwa na dissect word, alafu kuna vile aliingia. Nikasikia wave imeingia na yeye. Ndio endo kuchapo. You don't need power to do small things. Once your idea is small, your conference ended when the poster came out. The moment they said you shall receive power, ungejidisqualify useme, hiki tunafanya hapa. Hakuna mahali na need power hapa. Where do I need power here? I don't need power here. The moment you have introduced size, you have introduced resistance. And once size becomes a necessity, power becomes a demand. We go to places. I remember one time, my daddy, we were with him in another country, and he had gone to a pastor's church growth program conference. And the teaching was breaking the 300 barrier.